Hello YouTube, Mewtwo here with a request video for a good friend of mine called Freya Plus, and it is the legendary Wonder Boy. I find it amazing how this series chopped and changed through the year. I mean, here we are starting with good old caveman-esque Tom, and then after this game, the series just went all medieval or pseudo-medieval. Anyway, I remember Freya Plus requested this absolutely ages back now. I think it was back during my Paperboy gameplay. So I figured I'd best get on with it. Apple. No, I can't get the banana. That sounds bad. So yeah, this game is totally different to the later entries. You can tell it's arcade heritage a lot more. Run, collect fruit to stay alive. Actually, I've played this a fair bit on the Master System. Never done that well at it, but I am forgetting how to do the high jumps. Oh well. Oh, you hold 1 and press 2. I knew there was a way to do it. Kind of important because you need to eat the fruit to keep your vitality meter up, and if you don't, you die. It's basically the arcade timer, and of course it was an arcade game. Gotta suck those quarters. This is Fairy gives you invincibility, so I'm totally powered up on my rad 80s skateboard and got it. Oh, that was a bit dangerous. No. Well, I got the bonus stall, but died in the process. Oh well, at least there's one of those axes. Because honestly, the axes I find the most useful of the power-ups. I'm not too sure if I'm going to come across, or if my audio is going to come across a little odd this time, or in this video. I bit my tongue earlier, and I've been kind of sounding a bit odd all day, so perhaps not the best day to record a video, as we make it to the goal with the doll bonus. Not very many games can say that they have doll bonuses. Not many games can say they have doll bonuses and call themselves Wonder Boy. Yes, you have to wonder, is he the most masculine of heroes, thinking back on it. I actually don't want that. Damn. I find that the skateboard can make you go a little too fast, particularly on levels like this where it's very platformy. You know, jumping between the clouds. Whoop, oh. Dang. I find I hold down the 1 button to kind of get good high jumps, but you gotta be careful when you do that too, because you do what I did there, and your momentum can carry off platforms. Oh, come on. Music can get a little repetitive, which is, I mean, the later Alex, or I was going to say the later Alex Kidd games. Oh, I was very lucky there. The later Wonder Boy games have some very good music. Particularly my personal favourite, Wonder Boy 3, and it's in some ways hard to appreciate, the evolution of the series, both audio, in terms of visuals, and especially in terms of game mechanics, because Wonder Boy 1 is a fun arcade game, and one of the few games I actually played in the arcade. But I remember when I was playing it in the arcade, and I say playing it with air quotes, not that you could see. It was more I thought I was playing it, because it turns out I was actually it was the attract mode. Now I was only a young kid at the time, but I don't know how on earth I thought I was playing the game, and it wasn't just for a couple of seconds and then I pressed you know, say jump and it didn't jump or something like that. Oh, that was nasty. It was like felt like I was playing for quite a while. Now I obviously I mustn't have been. Oh no. Let's continue. But I remember feeling a bit foolish then when I realised, when the game reset and I was like, but I didn't die! I'd like to think surely everyone's done that at some point, think they're playing the game when in fact it's the attract mode, but maybe not. I'm going to tell myself that everyone does it. Having to concentrate quite a bit actually, so that would be nice to get past this level, see a bit more, maybe get up to the first boss. You know, such crazy goals. Well, you could say that, you know, it's got some of the typical arcade, you know, trying to, you know, quick death traps and whatnot. At the same stage, you know, there's plenty of markers to restart in the levels, and it's definitely a clearable game. Oh no, jeez, I nearly fell for that again. When you know what you're doing, but I just don't know what I'm doing. And I'm doing a bit of a kamikaze run on this. Sometimes that's the best way to go about things. Got a bonus doll. You can't beat a Wonder Boy without the bonus doll. And we're at the goal. Of course, most people are probably aware of it, but the Adventure Island games, well, certainly Adventure Island 1 on the NES is actually just Wonder Boy ported over. And for some bizarre reason, instead of scrolling left to right, it scrolls right to left. Which just in general is an odd decision given... Uh-oh. Down, skateboard! Okay, I'm gonna get hit. Yep, there we go. I just figure it's probably easier just to get hit and lose that stupid skateboard. And here's another skateboard. They really want me to have a skateboard. Because it's rad. Well, there I go. I lost the skateboard again. That time not even unintentionally. Or intentionally, sorry. Even though the game is quite simplistic, it's quite captivating, or at least I find it captivating. You kind of just get into a bit of a trance playing it. I just want to keep going, especially given that I think you can continue as much as you like. Oh, gotta avoid that at the bad egg. I found it such a shame that the developer West One, although they're still around today, they, after Monsterland 4, I think it was, the Japanese only Mega Drive game, they pretty much, you know, ceased. I was tempted to go for the doll, but given that I had the skateboard and all, I said, let's just play it safe. No doll bonus. I'll just have to make do without. God, I so rarely have the skateboard. I didn't even realise it carries over from level to level, but it makes sense because your axe does as well. And the Master System is a great port of the arcade game. I mean, it's certainly, if you compare the NES and the Master System, like it's way better. And the NES port captures the gameplay fairly well, but it so clearly demonstrates the technical differences between the machines. Ooh. I think at the end of this level, I'm near the boss, so that'll be a good point to get to for this video. Because basically, once you've seen the first boss, you've seen the entire game. The game it repeats quite a lot. I mean, the level structures do change somewhat, but I mean, the content is ultimately the same thing. Oh, cheeky. So I think here we are at the boss. And there we go. Not the most challenging boss in the world, and I think all the bosses are basically the same. They get a little more difficult, but it's the same basic pattern and again, which is one of the weak parts of the game. It's fun in what it does, but it does get a little or a little repetitive, I suppose. So I tend to break it out every once in a while. You know, not too. It's not like my favorite game in the world, and I do like the Wonder Boy games, but it's. Oh, I'm guessing that's not good. It's something, you know. If I can't think of a game I want to play, and I haven't played it in a while, it'll be one of those games that you can pop in and play for 10, 20 minutes or however long, and have a satisfying experience, and then be able to kind of put it aside. And there have been times, I suppose, where I have actually sat down and played it for a lot longer when you get into that trance like I was talking about earlier. So it kind of does fit both kind of categories of gameplay if you wanted to. Oh, gotta get me doll. Oh, nuts. Well, I think we'll leave it there. I mean, everyone knows Wonder Boy. It's an absolute classic, both in the arcade and at home. And you should buy the arcade cab. Sure, come on, everyone should be able to buy an arcade cab. But seriously, if you can pick it up cheap on a Master System, it's a good one to have in the collection. It's good fun. If not, the one thing I find is that it tends to, at least over here, attract a reasonable bit of attention on auctions because of the name. Like, everyone knows Wonder Boy, so they want to pick it up because it is that, you know, that recognized brand, as it were. But if you can pick it up on the cheap, it's definitely worth trying out, because I think you'll enjoy it.